Watching Deadpool and Wolverine reminded me of an era when Marvel used to make good movies all the time, as opposed to now, where maybe one in every 20 are actually good. The movie starts with a retired Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, being recruited by Paradox of the TVA. Afterwards, he finds out that his universe will be destroyed. Why? His universe's anchor being has died. What's an anchor? Apparently it's a person whose existence is vital to their universe. The anchor of Wade's universe was Wolverine, but he died at the end of Logan. But that doesn't work for Wade, brother, so he steals a time travel device so he can kidnap a Wolverine from another timeline and bring them to his universe. But while doing so, the TVA sends them both to the Void, a purgatory for previously destroyed universes. But forget about the plot. It's full of holes and is treated almost like an afterthought. The entire purpose of this movie is to get Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman together on screen so they can trade witty banter and beat each other nearly to death. This is a buddy cop movie set in the superhero genre. I like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, but I was afraid he was going to rely too much on his constant meta jokes. But I wound up loving a lot of the Deadpool humor. In fact, he's got some really funny remarks about how bad the MCU has been in the past few years. But Hugh Jackman is my favorite part of the movie. I think his depressed and alcoholic Wolverine is a much better partner for Deadpool than Cable was. This Wolverine is a tragic character, and watching him struggle with his trauma keeps the movie grounded. I remember watching the first X-Men in theaters opening weekend when I was a kid, and now 24 years later, it's still a delight seeing Hugh Jackman play Wolverine. Every time he puts on the claws, it's a gift at this point. Plus, after all these years, he finally wears the Wolverine costume from the comics. And when he put the mask on, I got a little hard. The movie has some of the most entertaining fight scenes in any superhero movie, especially in the Void. It really feels like a comic book movie come to life. You get a battle between Logan and Wade inside of a minivan that's so over-the-top bloody and brutal. It's fun, but it's not even the best fight in the movie. Since the movie is about the multiverse, the movie's got plenty of surprise cameos and returns by different characters. At first I was afraid Marvel was going to make the same mistake they did in Doctor Strange 2 and just do a bunch of dumb death cameos. But instead Marvel made these returning characters an essential part of the story. I was really hyped by one return in particular. I'm not going to say who though.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
I don't know why that's there, but that doesn't have to do anything to do with anything. Let's talk about a couple things I didn't like. Namely, the TVA. Bringing the TVA into the MCU was one of the biggest mistakes Marvel's ever made. I don't know why Marvel thought writing this group into the MCU was a good idea. But when the movie opened with Deadpool killing like 50 TVA agents, I was just hoping that this was Marvel's way of writing them out finally. But nope. By the end they are still around and they're just as important as ever. Also, the villains. Paradox and Cassandra Nova. They're both really just there so Deadpool and Wolverine have someone to defeat at the end. Otherwise they have zero importance to the story. Paradox might actually be the dumbest villain I've ever seen in a movie. When he recruits Wade, he tells them that his universe is dying and he's going to lose everyone he loves. Then he's surprised that Wade tries to stop him. Cassandra Nova gets maybe 2 sentences of character development. She's Professor Xavier's evil twin sister who's got the same powers as him. She's been trapped in the Void since birth. That's all. The movie introduces the concept of anchor beings, which I really didn't like, and I think it just creates more questions than answers. Questions the movie doesn't even try and answer. For example, Logan was the anchor being of Deadpool's universe. Logan was only like 200 years old when he died. Was there an anchor before him? After all, the universe is 13 billion years old. I had to Google that. How was the universe kept stable before Logan was born? The Wolverine that Wade recruits in the movie, was he the anchor for his universe? Did his universe start to fall apart once he left it? I feel like the anchor concept was just introduced because it's going to be a major part of the story in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. The movies will probably be about the heroes trying to protect the sacred timeline anchor from being killed or captured. Also, this movie heavily relies on nostalgia for the old X-Men movies. Would it have killed Disney to actually bring back some X-Men? No Halle Berry, no James Marsden, no Famke Janssen, not even Anna Paquin? You've got your characters in a story where anyone can appear and you don't drop in any of the OGs? Anyway, all the negative is way overshadowed by what's great in the movie. Deadpool and Wolverine is a giant nostalgia trip, and I loved every second of it. I saw it in a packed theater and it was like being at a concert. Watch it as soon as you can. It's the rare new superhero movie that actually hits and doesn't miss.